I got secret that nobody knows.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sport Breaks. Of course, I am your host, Dante Washington, back with you guys and gals for another episode, and it is long overdue, of course. Haven't seen and spoken to you guys and gals since the Super Bowl, of course, that was won by Kansas City Chiefs over the San Francisco 49ers. Overtime win, overtime victory, back-to-back Super Bowls for the Kansas City Chiefs. But before we get started, of course, make sure that you are subscribed to Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Make sure that you are hitting that download so you are downloading the episodes automatically. Also, make sure that you are following and liking Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. As I stated, I am currently here live on TikTok right now, in your living room, in your phone, wherever you at. I am live right now on TikTok. So make sure that you join, make sure that you hit that like, make sure that you show some love, show some support. Got them roses, drop them roses too. I love them for sure. Yeah, but of course, it's all about sports, period, point blank. But like I said, make sure that you are following and liking Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Whatever platform that you are on, you can definitely hit a link on that, and it will carry you to the next social media platform. And let's run that up, all right? Let's go. Of course, it still is Black History Month. Not gonna do a Black History person today. But I will just simply say, and I want to state to all African Americans out there, this is a year-long celebration. Just because it is a month does not mean you need to stop supporting those who laid the foundation for you to be who you are now. And it does not matter what's your status. It does not matter what's your affiliation with any organizations. It does not matter if you are young, you're old, you're in between. It really does not matter. So just make sure that you support the next person. Make sure you give them a pat on the back. Make sure you give them their flowers while they're here. And that way, you know, celebrating Black History Month will continue on. Like I said, no matter what it is, 365, it's Black History Month for me, period, point blank. And I love to see my black fellow men and women do great things. And if I see you getting down and I know you like that and I can come at you like that, I'm gonna offer a hand and at least say, you know, hey, brush yourself off. It's gonna get better. So again, no Black History person today. Just wanted to speak that out to all my fellow African Americans, whatever you want to call yourself. Whether you don't feel like you're African American, it does not matter. If your skin tone is dark, if your skin tone is light, if your skin tone is real bright, but you still have that African American in you, just know that the pigmentation in your skin does not change who you are, you know. All right, so be great, do great, and love is love for sure. But anyway, getting on to the sports, of course, this is what I'm here for. I have been promising a mock draft for quite some time. Not going to do a scoreboard today. I am going to strictly look at the draft, because the draft for the NFL is coming up soon. Of course, if you all are like me, I know I'm missing the game of football right now. It came and left us so abruptly. But that Super Bowl did leave us definitely wanting more. So I've done one mock draft already. That was the mock draft .5. I named it .5, of course, for all my 420 people. I named it .5. But that was my first one. I am going to drop .1 today. I'm going to drop 1.0 today. And I already did the mock draft on the database that I like to use. It's NFL mock draft database.com. Shout out to the site. It's a good site, very easy site to use. Again, it is NFL mock draft database.com. So if you want to do a mock draft yourself, go out there and check it out. Of course, in case you have not noticed, I am a Green Bay Packer fan. Go Pack Go. So of course I drafted our team. I let the computer do what they do on the other side of things. And of course, first up to draft was the Chicago Bears. A lot of people, a lot of thoughts as to what they are going to do with Justin Fields. Me personally, I think that they should keep Justin Fields. We know what Justin Fields is. But let's be blunt about it. Justin Fields has been let down by the Chicago Bears organization offensively. And then you look at just the team overall, they gave away a whole lot. Although they went and picked up Montez Sweat, they definitely are in rebuild mode. But Justin Fields is definitely a cornerstone of their offense to me. You went and got DJ Moore from Carolina. So that is a definite great start. They had a definite great season. Tight end Cole Kmet did well as well. So to me, if it was me picking this pick, I would literally do exactly what the computer actually did. And with the first pick of the NFL draft, the Chicago Bears selected on my mock draft Marvin Harrison Jr. That is correct. That is correct. I'm dead serious. They drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. He is a prolific receiver. Do not need to go into his stats. If you watched any college football this year, you know he is head and shoulders above all the receivers that is out there. And they have some good ones out there with the names like Malik Nembers, Rome Odunze. Those guys, Keon Coleman, those guys were great. But Marvin Harrison Jr. was a tier above. He was on his own planet in my eyes. So again, with the first pick, the Chicago Bears select Marvin Harrison Jr. All right. Moving right along to the second pick. Okay, the second pick is held by the Washington Commanders. Quick little piece of information about that. My grandfather and my father are Washington Commander fans. They've been fans since their name was the other name. I'm not going to say it for fear of copyright infringement or something, or whatever the case is. Or I don't want to offend anyone. But they have been Commander fans for as far long as I can remember. So yeah, I think this is a pick that's near dear to their heart, of course. But with the second pick, the Washington Commanders select quarterback Jayden Daniels from LSU. Of course, Jayden Daniels is the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. He is a far cry from what the Washington Commanders have on their roster. But with that being said, Sam Howell led the league in passing this past year. So it was kind of odd to see this pick picked here, knowing that Caleb Williams has ties to the new offensive coordinator in Washington now. So I was very surprised to see this pick, but it is a great pick nonetheless. Sam Howell is a great quarterback, or he's not a great quarterback. He's a decent quarterback that is on their roster. But Jaden Daniels is a man. Like, he can throw it, and when he pulls it down to run, he makes the best decision for his team, and LSU benefited well with Jaden Daniels at the quarterback position. And I think that Washington will do the same thing going forward. Of course, they have a slew of young receivers. They have Robinson Jr. in the backfield. They have Terry McLaurin and the crew at receiver. Washington just got that much more better. All right. Third pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition. None other than the 6-time world champion New England Patriots. And the Patriots are normally and used to trade back out of certain picks, but they held on to this pick. And the New England Patriots select Joe Alto, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. He is regarded as almost not Quentin Williams, but almost Trent Williams type of tackle. That remains to be unseen because Trent Williams is the #1 tackle in the league, period. But Joe Alt, he is the #1 rated offensive tackle in this draft, and the Patriots got some protection up front. Fourth pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Break edition is the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, of course, got their all-world quarterback back off of injury this year. And he is going to be okay. Offensively, I think they did him a service by letting go their backup. But with the weapons that they have coming back in Arizona, I could see them going defense for this pick. And surely defense that they did. The Arizona Cardinals select Dallas Turner, edge rusher from Alabama. I'm going to speed this up a tad bit. With the 5th pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Break edition, the Los Angeles Chargers take Malik Nabers, wide receiver from LSU. Of course, if you've been watching college football, you know Malik Nabers is a very, very, very good receiver. He was one of the top targets for Jaden Daniels this past year. And you look at the Chargers, Mike Williams has been hurt consistently. So I didn't mind them making this pick to have another receiver to go along with their #1 guy, whose name I can't think of right now. But with the 6th pick in the NFL mock draft, the New York Giants select Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC. To see Caleb Williams fall this far in this mock draft is almost absurd. It is crazy because they are, of course, building up Caleb Williams as I've heard even some of the experts say that he is a mix of Patrick Mahomes and who else they said? They said somebody else, but the fact that they had Patrick Mahomes' name in it and comparing him to Caleb Williams, I had to scratch my head. I like Caleb Williams, but if you look at those USC games to where they took those L's, he looked horrible. And this is my first of the year before football season. My bold statement for the year is that Caleb Williams will not be who they say he is. I think Caleb Williams will be a bust. I've never hated on anything in my life. I'm just looking at the looking at who he was in Oklahoma, then turn in USC, it's scary. But that is my bold statement for the beginning of the season, for NFL, for the season even the get started. That is my bold statement. Caleb Williams will not be who we all think he is. All right. Make sure that you are pushing that like button. Make sure that you are hitting them hearts. Make sure that if you got something to say about who's drafting, who your team should draft, make sure you drop that comment so I can read it on the screen right here, and I can shout you out and I can say whatever I need to say, because if you comment, of course, you are joining the conversation, and I love when people join the conversation. You heard me? 7th pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition is going to be made by the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, of course, they're going to part ways with their all-world Derrick Henry. Got a lot of holes that they can fill, but of course, pairing another receiver with the great from South Carolina would be a great move. And it looks like they did on here. With the 7th pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Titans select Rome Odunze, wide receiver from Washington. This cat is something different. I would have loved to see him go someplace else. But with the young quarterback that Tennessee has from Kentucky, Will Levis, he to me is gaining a young talent that could possibly be his number one receiver within the next 2 to 3 years. Rome Odunze is a great possession receiver, but you can also play him in the slot as well. So this is a great pick to me by Tennessee. With the 8th pick in the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Atlanta Falcons select Jared Verse, edge rusher from Florida State. Of course, Atlanta has a lot of holes to fill as well, but they are pretty decent enough on offense, and it looks like they are going to try to build up their defense to try to match in. Will they try to get a quarterback in the 2nd round? Who knows? I'm only going to do the 1st round here tonight. With the 9th pick, the Chicago Bears come back on the clock in this NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, and the Chicago Bears select Laitua Latu, and I'm damn certain I said his name wrong. Edge rusher from UCLA. So they get an edge rusher to pair with what's his face from Washington. I can't remember the cat name, but that is a good move. Chicago went and got their receiver to go along with their quarterback of the future, and they went defense to bolster up that other side of the edge rushing that they so really need, because they could not stop a nosebleed if they wanted to. With the 10th pick in this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the New York Jets select Talise Fuagai, offensive tackle from Oregon State. With the 11th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Drake May from out of North Carolina, quarterback. This is another one of those stun picks by this database that NFL mock draft database.com is using. But again, I love it. I put in what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to go kind of crazy, to throw a lot of trades and all that good stuff out there, and it did exactly that. Drake May goes to the Vikings And who knows what the Vikings are going to do with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a free agent. They cannot tag him. But for me and all the experts that I have paid attention to, Drake May, this is a good fit for them. But the Vikings would do greatly by trying to keep Kirk Cousins, despite him coming from off of that injury. Because as we all know, Justin Jefferson is sitting back watching. And if you don't do the right thing, you may just lose him also. But this pick would go well. I like Drake May. Drake May and Justin Jefferson. Also, with the running back that they have, how that cat name is, Carson, whatever his name is. But he did pretty good towards the end of the season. And then you also got on the other side Jordan Addison, that rookie from out of USC. This would be so much firepower if Drake May is the starter day one. We'll see. With the 12th pick in the NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, we have the Denver Broncos taking cornerback Nate Wiggins from out of Clemson. Damn, that is, oof. The Broncos already have the top, well, one of the top cornerbacks in the league. So to put Nate Wiggins over there with him is going to be crazy. With the 13th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select J.C. Latham, offensive tackle, Alabama. With the 14th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the New Orleans Saints select Olumiyama Fashuma, offensive tackle, Penn State. Yeah, please forgive me for butchering some of these guys' name. You can definitely look them up. Again, he is one of the high-rated offensive tackles in this draft. He is from Penn State. So again, look him up, check him out for sure. With the 15th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Indianapolis Colts select Teron Arnold, cornerback, Alabama. With the 16th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Seattle Seahawks select Jerson Newton, defensive lineman, Illinois. With Pete Carroll gone, I can see this team going defense. Of course, they have two of the better receivers in the league, and they also have a decent enough quarterback. So Seattle is definitely trying to bolster up their defense to complement that offense. With the 17th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver from LSU. He could have been easily a top 5 pick. If you have not paid attention to LSU this year, Brian Thomas Jr. is probably, and I want to go out on a limb and say, man, I can't say that he was that far better than Malik Nembers, but he was definitely 1B. If Malik was 1A, he was 1B. So this is a great pick by Jacksonville, who is full up with damn receivers. Damn, I mean, they are literally full up with receivers. With the 18th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Cincinnati Bengals select Amaris Mims, offensive tackle, Georgia. With the 19th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the LA Rams select Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback, Toledo. With the 20th pick in this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, Pittsburgh Steelers select Jackson Powers Johnson, outside linebacker, Oregon. In this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, at the 21st slot, the Miami Dolphins select Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. At the 22nd pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback, Alabama. This is a great pick for Philadelphia. They are definitely trying to bolster their defense as well. You look at where they were when they went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs. Statistically speaking, they were a shell of themselves this year. And with the losses of a few players that they had, it really showed. And cornerback is definitely a need for them. Of course, they sit in the NFC East, where you have one of the top receivers in the league. And it's a night in and night out thing, of course, in the NFL. And if you don't know about Kool-Aid McKinstry, he is definitely technique sound. He is big. He is fast. And also he is great in the return game as well. So the Eagles definitely got a stud here at the 22nd slot. 23rd pick in this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Texans from Houston select Byron Murphy, defensive lineman from Texas. With the 23rd pick in this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys select Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa. I see this pick is also, and even they had one of the most underrated cornerbacks to lead the league in interceptions this year. Of course, they lost their top cornerback to an ACL tear as well. So to me, this was like more insurance than anything, and it definitely is needed. Cooper is a legit receiver. Like, if you do not know, he is definitely fast. He is one of the better cover corners out. He's according to them, he is probably a shade under Kool-Aid McKinstry. But nonetheless, he is there. At the 25th pick for the NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Demian Robinson, edge rusher from Penn State. That came off of a trade that my Green Bay Packers traded with them. If I go look at it right quick, Tampa Bay gave me a 24 7th round pick, which was a 244 pick. They gave me the 205th, the 5th 7th round selection for this year's draft as well. They gave me a 2025 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th to move up from where they were to pick from 26th to 25th. So I had to take that. You know, I'm about that. I'm about that stock down the line. You know, so and that's how they got their edge rusher from Penn State. In the 26th spot in this year's NFL mock draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, my Green Bay Packers select, and I did the selections for myself. I literally went through the whole draft and selected every player. But again, I'm giving you the first round only tonight. My Green Bay Packers and I decided to select Kalen Bullock, safety from out of USC. With the 27th pick, the Arizona Cardinals come back again in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition and select Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia. With the 28th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Keon Coleman, wide receiver out of Florida State, in this year's 1.0 NFL Mock Draft Sport Breaks edition. I think this pick is predicated off of will Stephon Diggs return? Do they try to get rid of him? But I don't know. Like it's so much being said. And to be honest, if we had the conversation, I would love to see Stephon Diggs leave. Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen is probably one of the top 10 quarterbacks in this league. I just don't think the way the Buffalo Bills are constructed right now, they are not primed for winning at all. That's just my thought process. So I don't know. But nonetheless, Keon Coleman goes 28th to the Buffalo Bills. 29th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition. The Detroit Lions select Enos Rackenstraw Jr., cornerback from Missouri. With the 30th pick in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition, the Baltimore Ravens select Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle, Arizona. And with the 31st pick, the San Francisco 49ers in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition select Graham Barton, outside linebacker, Duke. And the last pick in the first round, of course, goes to the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs in this year's NFL Mock Draft 1.0 Sport Breaks edition. And the Kansas City Chiefs select Troy Franklin, wide receiver from Oregon. And that does my NFL mock draft. It is my 1.0. It is only the second one I have done. If you have not caught 0.5, you definitely need to make sure that you are following and subscribe to Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. You can click the link here on my page, and it will take you to another different set, and you can definitely listen to and watch videos and like and make sure that you critique me, make sure that you argue back and forth with me. I'm all A-OK with all of that. It lets me know that you are prepared and you are ready to join the conversation. And who knows, but if you are on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from, make sure that you look up Sport Breaks on there as well. SportBreakz. And make sure that you hit that download. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button on there as well, so that you'll be notified whenever I drop an audio on there or wherever I'm putting a podcast down at. Again, make sure you go back and listen to everything. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that comment and let me know what you're thinking, where your head's at, who you liking, rep your team, all that good stuff, all right? Period. Next live will be Thursday, and I will get back to my regular stuff as far as my scoreboard, my ins and outs about things that I don't like, things that I'm okay with. A lot of people are talking the NBA right now. All-Star. real quickly, they might well get rid of the All-Star game. Ain't nobody fit to pay them no more money. Them boy get big time money to play an All-Star game, and it's a privilege. Like, it's really a privilege to get voted on there. Go back and check the old games out, the way you see in the 80s, in the 90s, how them boys competed, you know. I mean, cause hey, anything can happen. You could tear ACL up going to throw a breakaway tomahawk down. Who knows? But yeah, make sure that you are checking me out. Make sure that you are subscribed to everything. Make sure you hit that bell where there's a bell so you'll be notified, because if it ain't Sport Breaks, of course it ain't knowledge world. Peace.